saying that you are African Caribbean, which is fine. But how can you be African Caribbean and English? You will never be English. You are African Caribbean.
But why will I never be English?
Because you're African Caribbean.
For me, the fact that I was born here and the fact that my sensibilities are English mean that I want to claim that heritage as well. Now, I'm very comfortable saying I'm British, Black British, of course I am, and I'm very, very proud. No one could say I wasn't, because I talk about it all the time, about my Caribbean roots, and I know the Caribbean very well. But it's to say that I'm English. Sorry? What?
You're British, but you're not English.
Well, that's the point I think you're making, and I'm disagreeing with that.
Okay, so you've just seen the clip of, what's Buddy's name again? Sorry, he's British, I'm not familiar with him.
David Lammy.
David Lammy, the British Labour Party politician. So he fields this call from the woman, and she basically says that he can't be English. So do white people in England have a monopoly on Englishness? Or could you guys be English? Educate me, because I didn't grow up here.
No, Manny knows this one.
I want to be educated on this one.
Do I know this one?
I don't know. Do you? Okay, here's a better question now. Do you
Yeah.
guys consider yourselves English? If you go abroad and somebody asks you, what are you? Where are you from? Like, what's your go-to response? I'm British. I'm Afro-Caribbean. Like,
previously,
what
previously, I don't know about now because I didn't look into it. I did see that video, haven't looked into it, but previously you weren't allowed to be English.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were allowed to be British.
That was my understanding.
You could be Black British, but you couldn't be English.
Yeah.
I think now that's changed. Yeah. Don't know. Those have to check it out.
No. That's what I understood. Because when I worked at a college a few years back in Suffolk County, right? So my students were filling out forms for uni, and I had a couple of British students who were of Bangladeshi descent, and they were like, "Oh, miss, what should I put here for this?" And I was like, "I don't know, you put what you are." Like, ask me and you put what you think you are in terms of race and ethnicity or whatever the category was called. And then one of the other teachers came over and she goes, "Well, they can't put English." And I was like, "Okay."
Wow,
and
that's what she said.
Huh? She said they can't put English. And this is someone I respected. This is one of my colleagues, a teacher. She can't put English. And I said, "Okay, well, break it down for me. Why can't she put English?" And then she goes, "Well, because she's British, but she's not English." And it was like at that moment, I was like, right, so there's a difference between the two. But that's the only person of authority who's explained it to me. So it's nice to hear your perspective.
I think what you need to do, first and foremost, right, because I said it used to be, don't know about now. I think the first thing that needs to be done is check out the definition of what English is. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But I personally wouldn't bother to try to describe myself as English. It's pointless. If I go to anywhere else in the world, been to quite a few places, and they say where you are, and you say, "Oh, I'm British," they'll be like, "Yeah, but," because they're not even asking about that.
They're not.
Do you get me? They're asking but where'd you originally come? Where'd you really come from? Do you know what I'm saying to you? Do you know what I mean? So that's just on a British level. That's not even on an English level. I think what perhaps has happened is no one's bothered to define. When they've done it, when we go to school or whatever, they've never bothered to define that maybe they view English as being, and this is not even going to be correct, but indigenous to the land. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Not even though they're not necessarily, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what that means. And anyone else who would come, you can be of the land, but you can't be the same. It's a way of identifying someone who's from England, who's white, and then everyone else who's non-white from England. You can be you're British, innit? You're just British. Great Britain. Remember, it was because it is Great Britain in terms of the Commonwealth and the, you know what I mean. But when you look at America, for example, like he gave the example of Americans, didn't he? And he was saying you can be African American, you can be Italian American, you can. But then what it is this is where supremacy comes into the white supremacy factor in it. Because if you're a white American, you're just American. Yeah, but then Native Americans have to be Native Americans. When really, if it was a thing like that, they should be the Americans and you should be Euro-American, but you're not. But that's just what it is. So that woman was probably coming from a place of white supremacy, basically, and that's it. So that's why she's used the terminology that she's
was
used.
Was it white supremacy?
But national pride? No, national pride, whatever it is. Well, if that's the case, which it can be the case, then you, as I said, you should be called European Americans. You can't be going to someone else's country and then you assuming that the mantle of being the people from that. Like you don't get European Australians. You just get Australians.
You do.
They're just Australians. Anywhere you find Europeans, in a country, they are just the thing what they are. Do you get me? And when they was in South Africa, they were Afrikaans.
They were.
They didn't bother putting a euro in front of it. They just made it so. So I just feel
There's no so white Brazilians, is there?
right. Okay, so
No, yeah, you
Well,
have a
Afro-
good story
it's
about
Afro-
that.
it's
yeah.
Afro-Brazilian.
So there you go. So basically, I just feel like it's part of. It's just a throwback to, and it still exists. But I feel like we've tried to get rid of it. And so that's why I'm not sure, because I've heard someone who I respect, has said to me, "Now you can be English now." Do you know what I mean? I didn't bother to look into it, so I don't really know. But I just feel like she's coming from the old school where you couldn't be. So for her, you can't be nuts. It's just what it is.
Do you want to be though? Do you want to be labeled English?
I mean, I don't mind. I'm cool with being British.
I
I'm cool with
feel
being.
like-
I'm cool with being Black British, mate. Because what is, you know what I mean? People will still do, like, if you go to a certain place, if I go to Jamaica, they might say, "Oh, you're English." They might say that.
English
I know they're not
British.
making a distinction between English and British. They're not
No,
making a
they're
distinction.
not. That's the thing.
And I think anywhere else, certain places, people don't make the distinction. So I'll just let them say it. I don't really care. Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel like
There's no distinction.
a lot of these things that they bring up, like you can't be English, you're British. Like I feel like the people who have a problem with it
Supremacy.
are usually not the people who
Yeah,
are labeled as such. Because
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking, I couldn't care less. It's a bit like in America, the whole like, are you African American, or are you black, or are you colored, or are you this? Like, we don't really care.
You don't care
For the most part, like I know I don't speak for all of us, but like
For the
we
most
care
part,
less
yeah.
than like white liberals who are, like I don't know, advocating on our behalf, or we care less than this woman who's like, I'm English and you're not.
She's
English.
trying to, but that's what I'm saying. She's just trying to maintain that
We're like,
hierarchy.
ooh, you can have
Yeah,
that.
but that's what she's maintaining it. She's letting him
Yeah.
know that you can never be what I am without ever calling him anything
You see
else.
where I just see some maths in this whole conversation? Because some of this has just shined a light on so when we went around the world, when you went around the world there, and you were saying about Australia, and you were saying about America, and then when you said, I don't care, and I think, well, yeah, I don't care, and I'm pretty sure that you man don't care. But here's the thing, someone cares.
Yeah, someone,
You know what I'm saying? That's
Lammy
why.
cares.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we're
David
Yeah,
Lammy
no, I
cares.
think
here.
that's
No, but
yeah.
Lammy cares. I think what Lammy's point is, well, I can't speak for Lammy, but I think, but speaking from a generic point of view, it's like, why can he not
I think
be
he's
an Englishman?
right. I think he's right. But like I said, it's, you know what I mean? I
Why
think
can he not be an
he's
Englishman?
right. But at the end of the day, that's not going to be, of all the fights
I
for
know,
me to
that's
take
not the
up,
one
that's
that
not
we
the
care
fight
about.
for me
That's
to
not
give
the
a
one,
shit
is
about,
it?
in all
Yeah.
honesty. That's not the fight.
Yeah.
It's not right, but it's okay.
This
It's not
is
the
what I'm
fight.
saying.
for me
This is
to
what I'm
do,
saying.
you know
Where
what
it's double barreled
That's not
about.
the
You
fight.
see, when I said about the 360 positive, 360 negative before, yeah, because of that positivity, yeah, has that allowed someone else's negativity to overrun the whole system?
Probably has, but then again,
See what I'm
it's,
saying?
yeah, I think it has. But again, it comes down to, remember, there's many fights to overrun the system. So in the list of fights, yeah, that's going to come in a list of many other fights.
Yeah.
So which one or where does that place in what needs to be resolved? Yeah, in terms of correcting what's wrong now. Do we go from is this at the top, like English British? Is that at the top? I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know.
No,
but-
that
but
minor
I
one,
don't know.
no. But when I look at
And that's what I'm
Australia,
not going to call it a minor because I don't know. Do you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? I'm just going to say I don't know, but
when
sometimes
I
you
look
just
at
like,
Australia,
yeah.
or I look at, like we said about Native America, for instance, just those two examples. It's like, hold on a minute. The man that were originally there, they can't even get a
They've been
job.
chips.
They've been chips off.
Yeah.
You go and live with the
They called
crocodiles.
They're called just Aborigines, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's
Call
definitely a
Australians.
knock-on effect to
Well,
this whole
that-
labeling.
That's what I'm
I
saying. And
get
the same
that.
thing with the
That's why I say I don't know.
Americans.
That's why I say I don't know if it's not. I just don't
But
know.
where we're at today,
Yeah,
is
today,
that- is
yeah, I
that
think
the battle that
I think
we're
that's
fighting?
one of the issues in it, because where we're at today, in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
then
is
you got-
that, but that battle within itself, hasn't that battle forced us to be seen as a sub-breed?
Can I say this to you then? Could be right, but listen to this. Could be right, but like I just said to you, someone the other day told me, yeah, that we can be English, which sounds great on the surface.
Who
but
told
I
you
can't remember
that?
who it is, bro. Right, but
It-
what?
it-
But let's check.
No matter who it was,
It doesn't matter who it
don't
was,
worry
yeah.
about
But we should check it. No one's bothered to pick up the phone and look and see what it is.
Yeah.
But if that is the case, yeah, what has it changed? Because if Lammy, right, is calling himself English, I would assume that means he can, because he's a politician, so he would know, right? You know what I mean? Is he saying that he's
Can I
English?
just say this? Can I just say this? Maybe, I don't know, we'll have a look at this in a sec.
Clearly we'll research
In the break, yeah? In America, I'm going to, what's the place? Ellis Island, right? In New York. And America had a thing where you couldn't be American in, like, solo, just say I'm American, until 4 generations,
Okay.
right? So your grandfather had to be born in America, or else you're Italian American, Irish American.
Oh, your great grandfather is it 4 generations?
No, fourth. So your grandfather comes.
Yeah.
So your great grandfather comes.
Great grandfather.
Your great grandfather comes.
Right.
And then obviously his kid's born there. His kid's
Grandfather.
born there.
Dad.
His kid's born there.
Yeah.
So if your grandfather is
Yeah.
American, born in America,
Yeah.
then you can call yourself American.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
If
Because
you were born in America, you're not American.
I think you got to stick to the 4 generations rule basically because you're confusing the thing.
no. Your grandfather, if your grandfather's born in America,
Yeah.
then you're American. You
No,
can
but
call yourself American.
If my, so then, but then that's only 2 generations
that's-
or 3. That's
that's
3.
three.
That's
No.
3.
So if your great grandfather came, yeah, it took 3 generations after him to be considered American. So you'd be able to drop the Italian American or
Yeah.
Irish American.
And yet still
Yeah.
people still haven't dropped the prefix.
You never hear anyone say English American, do you?
But man about with the other ones like African Americans because they
African Americans.
they
still-
dropped the
well,
prefix.
they gained the prefix when they became
Yeah.
American.
Well,
They did.
yeah.
Because before that they were just Negro.
Well,
Yeah, everybody else is.
And then when they got the American,
Oh,
oh
they
yeah,
became-
Italians have dropped it. Yeah, Polish,
Irish,
everyone
they
else.
definitely
Everyone's dropped it.
No,
Yeah.
they're just American.
So again, it's one rule for.
yeah.
Wake up, wake up, wake up!
But we looked up the definition of English because apparently we needed to do that because we were very confused. Right, so the Oxford Dictionary definition for English is an adjective relating to England or its people or language. So that obviously clears things up, yes?
Clear as mud. So yeah.
Crystal clear. Okay, when we looked at some, because we did a little search to find out what the people were saying on the interwebs about it. So, according to the 2011 census, English refers to what they say, somebody who's white, basically. That's what English refers to. English and Welsh refer to white people. But I don't know, not a lot of people, it seems, are asking this question. Because I didn't see like a whole lot of stuff about it.
I was going to say, it's always seemed like an unwritten kind of, or it's like unwritten rule. It's like, you know, like when I've heard people talk about, refer to it because, oh yeah, it's an English person, and I'd be like thinking, well, what does that mean then? That's not, but then you kind of know what they mean when they say it. No, he was English. What did he look like? We say, what colour was he? He was English. Yeah, that's just like, it's, well, I'm thinking, well, I don't know English, can an Englishman be any kind of colour?
Jason, the original Englishman was a white man, wasn't he? So that makes sense.
The original Englishman? Who, Cheddar Man?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Cheddar Man was very. Should we get an image of Cheddar Man? Can you get an image up?
I can get an image up. I'm good at that. Here it is.
Where? The man who normally says, but where?
I wouldn't do that.
Oh right. Where?
Sophia.
Darling, the people can see it even though we can't see it.
Oh right, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Cheddar Man was a black man, wasn't he? And he's like but then again, they probably say he was a migrant. He came here from somewhere else. That's probably what they're saying.
Migrant worker.
I don't know. Came here from somewhere else.
Come to seek work in Britain and are ready and willing to do any kind of job that will help the motherland along the road to prosperity.
If Lammy wants to use it, right, or people want to refer to themselves as English, children want to call themselves English, then why the hell not?
Yeah,
because
they
everybody
should.
else
Yeah,
gets to
why
claim
not?
wherever they're from, so let them claim it, is what I say. I've got no problem anyone wanting to claim that. Because I know some people will turn around and say, why would you want to claim that? You should be claiming where you're from. Yeah, but he's thinking, well, it's not about, it's not like someone's desperate to claim that they're from here. It's the case of, look, if a European can move to Jamaica and he's saying he's Jamaican, he can go to Africa and say he's African, South African, like Namibian. Yeah, you got a lot of white people living in Namibia. They'll say that I'm Namibian.
Yeah.
Right? Then why the hell cannot the black guy call himself French or English or Welsh or Dutch or any of these other European countries that have like a population of black people?